Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, One Killer Cat, back at it again with another video. Let's get it. Y'all can see Candy way back there in the background there, because this video is not about her. We've done it on my car before. We got my homeboy Loway in the building. He's in the garage right now. We are working on putting the Blue Ghozt controller in his GT Charger, right? So I get a lot of calls on my Instagram, because people hit me up on here and they're like, hey, how do you do this? We talk on Instagram and we do an install and whatnot. I actually got one of my other homeboys pulling up in the back right there with the white Daytona. But I get a lot of questions about this. And so I am going to shoot the install video for the Blue Ghozt controller. Pay attention in my video and I'll try to give you a full tutorial on how to put it in, since my man Loway brought the car over here.
What's up, gang?
You see it already. Y'all seen him in previous videos. So we gonna go ahead and get this installed in here. So please pay attention and I will try to go into as much detail as I can. Let's get it. So as you can see, here go your Blue Ghozt controller. Here's the regulator right here. And we've hooked it to power and ground in here on the charger, basically. You got your connector. And then it comes unwired, or you can get it pre-wired from Light and Trendz, or from the Ghozt controller. Ghost Lighting is the website. You have your power over here for 5 volts, and you have a ground, and then you have another ground. Come on, focus, phone. Let me see if we can get, there we go. You have another ground and then a 12-volt input. So if you're gonna use it for underglow, you're gonna use a 12-volt input, because Light and Trendz actual underglow is 12 volts. This right here is a regulator. It takes the 12-volt current that comes into the car, regulates it down to 5 volts so that you don't blow all of your lights in here. So basically that's how you power it up. Then you have your outputs right here. So what you're gonna send the signal to the lights. And as long as your lights are installed, you can have one for one side and one for the other, left and right side. So everything's gonna go left or right side. So we're gonna get all into explaining exactly what connections you need to hook up to do what. We're going to show you with the spots on the actual, there we go, on here that you need to tap into, which wire you need to tap into, because you're gonna end up cutting one of these wires right here. Ooh, focus, there we go. You're gonna end up cutting one of these wires right here and tapping into it with another wire. And there's a couple ways to do it, wire taps, all type of stuff. But this is what we're about to do, and we're gonna finish up on my man, Legmaker. All right, guys, so what we've done so far right now is we've wired in one of the connection points, input 2. That is for your DRLs. Now your DRLs are input number 4 on here. So turn signals are number 5 and your input is number 4. So on here, you have a little number in the corner in the back here, and you'll be able to see exactly which input is which. So there's a couple ways of checking these things to figure out. We have what is called a wire tester. I luckily have my little box next to me. I gotta untangle it. But this right here is a wire tester. You connect the other end to ground, and this part, when you get power signal, this light will light up. So you can turn your DRLs on, and you can connect one end to ground and then put this in input 4 in the front, and this light should light up. If it doesn't light up, you don't have the right input. And then you can do the same thing for your turn signal. So input 5, you still will have the other end connected to ground, and you'll put this in the front of input 5. And when your turn signal is on, it should be sending a signal cutting off. So a power signal. So this light bulb will keep lighting up and going off, lighting on and going off. So that'll be the way that you'll test the right input before you cut any wires or anything. So even if you're doing this on not a Dodge Charger, because Dodge Chargers and Challengers is gonna be the same inputs and outputs, but this is the way to check it. Go get this from AutoZone. It's like maybe 12 bucks, if not less. But if you're on any other car, Camaro, Mustang, whatever, you can do this same process to figure out exactly which one is your DRL and which one is your turn signal. This is a great thing for if you're doing anything with electrical work, to figure out if you have power coming. This is a great way to figure out if a fuse is blown, because when you use this is basically what you use You touch a fuse, one side will be hot. If there's a break in the middle, when you touch the other side, it won't be hot. There'll be no power. So that's how you know your fuse is blown if you can't directly see it. If it's still inside the piece of equipment, they leave the little parts out at the top. That gives you one side to touch with one of these and the other side to touch with the other. And if you have power on both sides, then you know your fuse is working. If you don't have power on both sides, then you're not getting power to that thing. So this is a great investment to have. But we're going to take this and check the slots and make sure that we're in the right spot. And then we're going to connect the Ghozt controller and connect it and turn it on and make sure that it's turning on the correct way. All right, guys, let's get it. All right, so right here, this is what I was talking about in here where you have your connection points. Now, you already look on the back. In here, my camera may not focus in, but there's a number back here, and it's 6 for the top and it's 12 for the bottom. You have your spots. So this over here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 5 is your turn signal, and number 4 is your actual DRL. So what you can do to test it is you can place this in, go ahead and turn that turn signal on, and you're gonna get an incoming signal of power. So that shows you that that spot right there is your turn signal. So what we're gonna do is you look across, and this wire right here that goes into spot number 5, you can count it on the back. Empty spot at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's number 5, turn signal's on, it works. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna splice into this wire for number 5 for the turn signal. Now for the DRL, what cuts on and on for the car is spot number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. See, he doesn't have his DRLs on. So go ahead and cut your, go to the park setting. Right there, it is, I was getting a bad connection. Right there, that's his park setting right there. So that light stays on consistently. So when the car cuts on or you turn your park lights on, this is how those DRLs cut on for the Ghozt controller. It sends that signal and it'll automatically cut it on. So if he cuts it off, cut your park settings off, it'll go off. So that happens, this energizes when the car cuts on. So in spot number 4, our park signal, this one right here, is the wire that we're going to be tapping into. So these are the 2 wires you're going to have to tap into. In the Ghozt controller, for the actual park signal, number 4, you can tell in the app that you want both headlights to run off the left light. So you don't have to run this wire twice. That's how you test it. No matter what car you have, you can test it that way and figure out what you're getting your power from and what you're not getting power from. All right, so in here, we have the connection hooked up to spot number, I want to say, let me look for, so I didn't give you no bad information. Input number 4. So 4 is where we do our DRL lights, right? So input number 2 on the actual Ghozt box goes to the actual input number 4 on his DRLs to cut the headlights on and off. So in the app, you're going to have your actual turn signals, like I tell you, and then you can pick the color of turn signals. And then what you can do, you can tell it to wave with the turn signals, a bunch of different other things that you have, right? And then you have the park lights. So before I was saying that you could hook it up to 2 different wires and tell it to cut on. Well, I had never paid this attention. You can actually tell your left one and your right one to do something different right here in the app. So still only need to hook up 1 wire. So I told it to rainbow in and rainbow out. I want 1 to go yellow and 1 to go blue. So if you turn the park signal lights on and you're looking at the lights, we're in the connections, it's gonna rainbow in, 1's gonna go yellow, 1's gonna go blue, right here in the app. So I can tell it, I can pick it, and I can tell it to be a different color, white or red, and then, so that one's red, that one's blue. And then when it cuts off, you turn the park lights off, it's gonna rainbow out. So once it goes off, it's gonna have a little time delay, it's gonna rainbow out. So that's gonna happen every time he cuts his car on, and he's gonna be able to pick whatever lights or whatever colors he wants to do when the car cuts on, whatever sequence he wants it to do. Rainbow Road is what I use on mine, but there's a bunch of other different ones. I'll let y'all play with that for your own car. No need to go through and show all of those. So that's what we have. So that is hooked up in the spot for number 4 for the actual daytime running lights. The only thing that we got to do now is tap into that wire, connect it, and run the wire there so that it can't be seen, and then tap into each turn signal and put it in there, and he'll be able to turn his turn signals left and right and work with the Ghozt controller in the car. All right, so right now I got his right turn signal pulled up in his car. He has his turn signal on. So we're testing it out again. You know, I just like to test a bunch of times on people's cars to make sure that everything checks out. So what I do is I bring the wire up, and you can turn your turn signal off. Once you turn it off, it'll go off. But what I do is I cut the wire and I come right to the connection point. So we know connection point 5 is the one that we need to tap into. So before I've tested it with the wire tester, now I'm testing it with the actual lights to make sure that everything's operating the correct way. So we put it in, make sure it's the right wire. You can turn your turn signal on again, and then boom, connects the way it is. So the only thing after that we gotta do, cut that wire and tap it in. So you can use wire taps, you can use wire connectors, you can use all type of stuff. So I'll let y'all connect whatever way you would like. But once again, you get this first little point 5 over here. You go look at wire number 5 on the back right here. It's green and white. And we're going to cut that wire and we're going to connect into it. We did the daytime running lights. So cut your turn signal off and then turn your daytime running lights on. So the little, and then so he has the rainbow in, and then cut them off and the rainbow out. So the only thing I gotta do is connect this wire and then we'll connect the other turn signal, and that'll be how you put your Blue Ghozt in.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we've wired everything up. I'm gonna show you the connection points in a second. Will you go ahead and turn that turn signal on over there? So we got this turn signal going, and then turn this one on, and then turn it off. Do your hazards. So at the same time, and then turn it off and go ahead and turn your park signal on again. And then turn it off. So everything is functioning the way it's supposed to function. We made our connection points in here. As you can see, everything works. And I just tape everything back up, and then we'll plug the lights back in, put everything back together, make sure every wire's ran smoothly. And that's exactly how you put in the Blue Ghozt controller. And basically, after that, you just gotta play with the app. I can't really go into all the details of the app. Just know in the app settings, you can control it to make sure if you want to make your left turn with your left, your right turn with your right. If you wire it up and your right's turning with your left and your left turning with your right, you can do that in the app. You can reverse it, so you don't have to unwire anything. So once you have all of that, you can do this to have your snorkels, your fog lights, and everything connect up. You're gonna have a left input and a right, a left output and a right output, which is what we have here, left and right output. And basically you're just gonna use your wire connectors to connect everything. For your left side, one input's gonna be for your left side, one input's gonna be for your right side. And I really mean output. And then at that point, you connect everything up and you can have it working just like this. All right, guys, that was a complete install of the Ghozt box on his Dodge Charger. I tried to go as in much detail as I can. If I missed anything or for some reason you still don't understand something, feel free to hit me up at any point in time, and you can write me on Instagram and I'll have you call me and we'll go through the whole thing and getting it done. I've done this a bunch of times and I've talked to a lot of guys on Instagram and walked them through their build. So that's it, man. If I helped you out in this video, man, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Honestly, man, leave me a comment if it helped or anything down the line. For real, I appreciate y'all so much. The page continues to go up. So many people were asking, and a lot of people hit me up and be like, there's nowhere online. I'm the only person that does it, so I wanted to do a more in-depth video. So since my friend brought his, we went ahead and decided to go ahead and shoot it. So that's it, man. I'm mad.